What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and I want to spend a little bit of time going through really the returns on some of the items from Pokemon Center. And as most of you folks are aware, we've monitored items going out of stock at Pokemon Center in our Discord, in our videos here, and just want to walk through the performance of some of these items. And I'm going to go item by item. But this is effectively a list of really the bulk of the items that we focused on over the last 2 months. So let's cut over here to TCG Player. And before we start, I do want to talk about Prismatic Evolutions for 1 second. So this is bottomed in my view. So it says there's 3,245 available. 2,000 of them are trading card world. So there's really 1,245 for sale because they have 2,000 listed. This number was as high as 1,800 without theirs. So the volume's gone down, call it 750, 650, whatever the number is, in the last couple of days. And as we look here, we can see that there's a spike in volume. And these are starting to churn at a couple hundred a day. And we're seeing the price increase here in a little bit of a bump. So I think this is basing it right now. And in my view, this is the time to buy. So moving on to the video at hand, Twilight Masquerade. So this went out of stock probably 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, shortly after Christmas. And I mean, to be honest, it was right around MSRP for a while. And MSRP for Scarlet and Violet era is $161 and change. So this is selling right around $188 now. It's interesting because it kind of hit this $190, $188 point, and there's not a whole lot of volume left, but there's been enough on the market to hold it back. And if we look at 1 month, there's good amount selling every day. So we'll see what happens here. But this is effectively up 16.3% since it went out of stock. Pokemon Center, 2 items here for Crown Zenith. So we have the shiny Zamazenta and the Zacian. So let's click on the Zacian because this is my favorite. I like the color scheme a little bit better. These were $69.99, and these went out of stock probably about 3 weeks ago as well. And this and the Galarian tins were the last items to go. But these are selling for $120 now. And it's interesting because there's so many loose packs of this stuff around. There just aren't that many sealed items relative to all the loose packs from the Sea and Sky boxes. So this is effectively up 96.7%, and the Zamazenta is up 68.4%. Not quite sure why they're off because it's essentially the same thing. The promo's worth $1 or $2. But it just goes to show you when things start to run out at Pokemon Center, the numbers get crazy very, very quickly. And, obviously this is a little supercharged here because of the bull market we're in, but it's still crazy. So moving on, Silver Tempest. So there's 2 items that we hit on the Discord. So the first of which are the booster boxes, and these were $143. Almost immediately, they started climbing. They were a little bit over MSRP for the longest time. Sold out, immediately went up to about $240. So we're sitting at $233 now. So that's 62% increase since it went out of stock, and this is probably 6 weeks ago now. And then the bundles. This is one that surprised me the most. I mentioned this in the video yesterday. Just the sheer premium that bundles have over loose packs. It's something to keep an eye on, especially as, bundles effectively sell for what, $16, $18, I think 16 and change from distro. And, if they're going to trade at a significant premium to loose packs, it is quite honestly a fantastic SKU. So these sold for $23.94. MSRP, they're at $45 now. So this is up 88% in 6 weeks, which is absolutely insane. And if we look at the chart, there's a bunch of them selling too. It's not like there's nothing moving. You got a couple a day, et cetera. But some of this is also, there's so many loose packs out there. If you're a rip and shipper, you're buying the loose packs. Once those start to dry up, this is going to become a little bit more interesting. Moving on to Lost Origins. So we actually hit 2 items on this one because this was in stock for a good amount of time. It was probably 2 months ago now, right before Christmas. So the Build and Battle Stadiums, $59.99. Now we're just a tick under $100 for these. So that puts us at about 58.4% return. And there's not a whole lot of these listed. There's a couple right at 95, 95, 95. But once you break through this wall, there's nothing left. I mean, everybody's listed kind of around the same. And then you have 60 at an insane number. So 60 of the night. So you have 38 of these available, which is not much at all. And then the other item, and this was not on Pokemon Center, but we found this at Hills Wholesale Gaming, listed for $40. I think I bought 4 cases of these, and these are $65 a pop now. And I would imagine these are going to sell much higher in the future. I mean, I can see these being $100 items along with, Fusion Strike's almost there, but this at $100 here, probably by the middle of the year, assuming we don't go into a pretty sizable bear market. And speaking of Fusion, Build and Battle Stadiums, this was a little bit of a pain in the butt to buy because the limit was 2 on Pokemon Center, but these are already at $110, and they were $59.99. So these items alone, about an 83% return, which is again, across the board. What you're going to see here is there's just been a sizable, consistent upswing. In fact, the worst performer by far is going to be the Twilight Masquerade booster box, which is kind of interesting. Everything else in the Sword and Shield era is up 35% plus, and that 35% is actually we'll get to that, but it's Vivid Voltage. This is the Rotom V Hidden Potential tins. They had all the tins. I'll just point this one out because this is the one that I end up buying the most of. I think it was the last one in stock, and these are great because it's 2 Lost Origins packs, a Fusion Strike pack, and 2 Chilling Reigns. And these were $24.99, and now they're selling for $40. And so, $40 for that pack mix is probably gonna have some value in the next, I'll call it 2 to 3 months. As this stuff dries up. But again, that's another item that was a 60% return out the gate. So moving to the most recent Vivid Voltage, this just sold out about a week ago, and these are already $194, which is absolutely crazy. And there's only 97 of these listed, which doesn't really make a whole heck of a lot of sense, because if this was printed as highly as it was, where are the boxes at? Are they just sitting in storage? Did they all get ripped? Did people forget about them? It's not like the singles in the set are lighting the world on fire. There's not really a major hit here per se compared to the other sets. I guess you have your fat Pikachu, but this thing, I believe this only spiked recently. It's been up there for a while, so it's actually not bad. So let's move real quickly. The last 2 ETBs. So Darkness Ablaze. This one was crazy because this was $39.99. This is before they bumped the price for the Pokemon Center stamp on the box, not to be confused with the stamp on the promo, which didn't happen until Scarlet Violet. But these were $40. I actually got a couple cases here, and then I also, or not a couple cases, a couple boxes here, because I don't think they were selling 10. I think it was limited to like 4 or 6. But I also bought a bunch from Card Shop Live, who had them listed at $35, which was great. Every now and then they'll do a sale, and they'll just list things stupid low. They don't have a whole lot of quantity, but if you catch it, it's good value. They did one back in October. They had 2 Sword and Shield, or they had Sword and Shield base set boxes at like $225, and I bought the 4 that they had, and they were selling for at that point in time for $325. So it was a nice catch. So again, these are $60. So this is a 50% return, straight away. And then Astral, these just sold out recently. And these are $49.99. You can see here they're only 57. Astral's it's a little bit of a weaker set. The chase is a little weak right now, and there's a lot of ancillary products still available. So 14% on this. This is the worst performing item, but again, it's also the second most recent, I guess, if you count Vivid Voltage, to sell out. So really the moral of the story on all this is as items sell out from Pokemon Center, they take off because that cap on MSRP on the price is now taken away. And generally speaking, there's not more of it coming. Now, as we look at the Scarlet and Violet era, it remains to be seen. In my view, they're going to reprint, I think, probably everything one more time just because it's going to make sense. And SV 1 through 4 don't rotate out until March or April of 2026. So where the pricing is at on most of the sets, 170 plus. Paradox should be there. I don't know why it's not. And then, base is what it is. There's just a lot of time between here and there to have those boxes hit $250, $300. I can't imagine they're not going to reprint more booster boxes. I know it's not a popular stance or take among PokeTubers, but I do think that we're going to get another dump here, probably April, May, of everything across the board. Just a quick restock here. So anyway, guys, just wanted to go through this, and we'll just hit the master spreadsheet here real quick. And again, best performer is actually the Shinization premium collection from Crown Zenith, followed closely by the Silver Tempest booster bundle, and then Fusion Strike. Build and Battle Stadium, worst performer, the Astro Radiance ETB that just sold out, and Twilight Masquerade. And quite honestly, the price of that box was already a little inflated. And the threat of a reprint is going to hold that one down. So anyway, guys, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. We do have some sales going on this weekend on the website. They offer Magic the Gathering, Innistrad Remastered, and Aether Drift collector boxes. Innistrad Remastered 305, Aether Drift 250. But anyway, check out the site, join the Discord. It's a really sharp group of people. So, all right, guys, enjoy your Saturday.